Here we are on night 3 with Doodles and Taz. Is it night 3? Night 4? It's been a turbulent night. Okay, they started fighting almost immediately, and you can tell by the fur that is everywhere that it was not pretty. I used timeouts for Taz, as he appeared to be the one starting it, and so he's been in 2 timeouts. That's where he goes in the box by himself for 5 minutes to help enforce that that's not acceptable behavior. I think Doodle has been patient, but Taz has been provoking him. Now, as you can see from what we've got going on here, I think that Taz definitely wants to be dominant, and Doodle is still not quite there. And so they're still trying to figure out dominance, and that's where I feel like we still are at. And that may take a while, but I don't think that this is a lost cause. I just think that it's going to take quite a few more sessions, like weeks or months, to get this to work out. And so I think the work that we're doing here is a good jump start for them, but I don't feel like it's gonna like we're gonna get a bond out of this anytime soon. Your job as you're working with them is to facilitate the process, and I probably need to emphasize that a little bit. You're gonna have times when there's fur pulling, okay? You need to be watchful and separate them. Don't let them get hurt. If you can tell who started it, then I put that one in timeout for 5 minutes. That gives them a break, punishes the one that started it, and gives you a little bit of break to get away and do whatever you might need to do. Keep your sessions, 2 to 3 hours at a time if you can. I was going to go to a larger area tonight, like I had mentioned last night, and I just did not have a chance to set it up. Don't know that I'll have a chance to set one up before they go back to you. But I think they would benefit from a larger... There's 2 schools of thought here on the bonding area. Some people say to use really large areas with lots of ways for them to get away from each other, and tubes and boxes and things like that, so that they can get away from each other and don't have to sit next to each other all the time. Sometimes with a pair like this, that can tend to encourage them to stay away from each other, I think. So the other school of thought is that you start closing in the space so that they're forced to interact with each other. I've known quite a few great people that do bondings, and so I've heard both theories, understand both of them, and I think both of them can work in the right situation. In this particular situation, I would be interested in going to a larger area to see how they see if they interact with each other, as opposed to just sitting on opposite ends of the cage or pen or area or whatever that you're using. And by larger area, I mean like 8 by 8, a bigger room, with lots of stuff in there to distract them. Taz seems to have mellowed out a little bit tonight. He's really the one provoking and he's the one that seems the most unhappy here. And I just mean not in the bonding situation, I mean in my home. He seems not to be eating as much. He's not. He's upset most of the time whenever I see him. And by that I mean he's just not very interactive. He just kind of thumps and runs away and everything else. And, that's kind of the nature of that breed too. They tend to be a little bit skittish and scared and nervous. It's a relatively new breed, so they're pretty inbred. So we have some characteristics going on there that I've seen with a lot of the lion heads. That seems to be that kind. And then recently, like within the last few years, I've seen some that are just really, really, really gregarious. So, who's to say? They all have individual personalities. But I remember back in 06, 07, when I first started seeing lion heads, they were just bonkers crazy. Impossible to even settle them down, much less bond them. But that could have been the breeders that we were seeing around here. Like I said, recently I've seen some that are much more well behaved than what I was seeing 10 years ago. But anyway, I was, if I had had this session tonight, the first night, I would have stopped. I said, this isn't even worth pursuing. But having had what we had the second night, I feel like there's hope there. Okay, so don't give up. What we had last night was not good at the end. Started out okay. What we have tonight was very bad in the beginning and has seemed to mellow out here, hopefully. So we'll talk some more and continue this tomorrow night. I'm going to keep working with them tonight, but I wanted to catch the video while they were together.